One-foot-flipper.
Hi, Paige here, the 1-foot-flipper, and today is a great day. I have finally done it. What have I done? Well, we'll get into it. When I first went full-time selling, in the first year and a half, I had 4 just mega buys, mega collection buys. And also in that time, I had a very frequent contact who would dump stuff at my house, and I would pay her for it. Haven't seen her much in a while because she's moved kind of further away. But where I'm going with this is, I have spent, since before this channel started, for the most part, just going over the dregs of those death piles from the mega buys, because I like everybody else, I listed all the best stuff first, and I made a ton of money. But then ever since you've been watching me, I, for the most part, been listing the dregs out of those 4 mega buys, and whatever my contacts would bring me. I'd only go sourcing once a month. Yeah, some of you guys source every single day. I was going once a month. But guess what? Finally got my business set up the way I want to. I got to the bottom of my death pile. There's nothing left. At least there's no bins or boxes left. I'm finding stragglers here and there, but I'm listing them as I find them. In fact, last week I went out to the bins twice. I had 2 great trips, spent a total of $215, and I got $1,645 in listings out of that stuff. And honestly, I could have spent less, because there's a few things I need to learn to avoid at the bins. You need to stop buying puzzles at the bins. Puzzles are too bad right now, and they're too heavy to buy at bins price unless it's actually a very valuable puzzle. For some reason, I'm bringing puzzles home from the bins every time, and I'm done with that.
I've made a huge mistake.
What else am I doing? Otherwise, I don't really think I'm making any bins mistakes whatsoever. And, sometimes people comment in the comments who are concerned about my health. Saw the doctor today. I'm actually doing, all things considered, I'm actually doing great. Going to look at some things about sleep apnea, but other than that, I am doing just fine. So no need for you to worry there at all. All right, let's get to the next segment. All right, I am in a bit of a rush here because my D&D game starts in 1 hour and 12 minutes and I haven't packed anything yet. These first few were all bulk lots on district live auctions, so I'm not going to have any pictures. Sold 50 shirts, brand new sports shirts for all of $35. Not going to put those on auction again.
I've made a huge mistake.
Sold 25 assorted low-value video game items for $17. 13 pounds of assorted Pokemon-related merchandise for $134. Not too bad. And 11 pounds of 90s sports cards for $23. What else we got here? We got a bag of Warhammer figures for $28.23. Conair hair dryer. It's brand new, but the box is beat up. $30. Sold in 2 hours. Apparently that has like a 10 million% sell-through rate or something. Another bag of Warhammer figures. $30.48. Third bag of Warhammer figures. $42.34. Need to get some more of that stuff. This is an early 80s Weight Watcher scale, still in the box. Julie found this at the bins a few years ago. She bought it because she wanted to weigh things. There was money inside it. Apparently the person who bought it put the change from when they bought this at their Weight Watchers meeting inside it and then never used it. And Julie eventually got tired of weighing things, so now we sold it for $9.70. And I believe there were $6 and change, $6 or so in early 80s. Bills and coins inside of it. Was, not anymore. 2 packs of Ultra Pro card sleeves, $4.70. I've had this for over 20 years. This is a Capcom Bowling. This goes to the arcade game Capcom Bowling. This was a promotional item that the arcade owners could order. It's the only one I've ever seen. I sold it for $32.73. Realized I'm never going to put this on the back of some bitchin' jean jacket because I'm usually in a wheelchair, so nobody'd see it anyway. So I finally put it up for sale. And I sold 2 Gans Holly Jolly Christmas ornaments. One says my sister, my friend. The other says you are loved. They sold for a total of $9.98 plus tax. I have all sorts of little Christmas ornaments like this. They've got messages on them, or you can get them blank, or you can get them with names on them. We can write whatever you want on them. If you want to support my store, please go ahead and get those. All right, I got a lot of stuff to pack before people get here. See you in the next segment. So anybody have anything they decided they don't want to deal with anymore? A few I'm thinking that I'm going to lay off. Going to try to stop buying large items altogether. If it doesn't fit properly on a shelf of mine, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying anything I have to put on the floor anymore. Another thing I want to stop buying altogether, anything related to Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a combination of high customer claims, high scams, and the value of everything I buy related to Yu-Gi-Oh! Seems to start evaporating the moment I get the product in my hand.
I've made a huge mistake.
And that just is a combination that doesn't seem to work very well with me at all. Other things, I'm going to avoid cards in general until there's another card boom. Then I might buy cards again. But even then, I'm going to treat them like they are ready to boom, ready to expire. You know, boom, I mean explode. They are ready to expire the next day, like a ham sandwich you bought 2 days ago. I am not going to hold on to them because I don't trust the value to stay in the card market for anything that's not exceptionally old. And that goes for every type of card. Gaming cards, sports cards, all of it. Finally, sheet music. No. If I get a huge stack of it and for nothing, and then I'll move it on as a huge stack, but I am never individually listing sheet music again. I have listed large amounts of it over the years. I think maybe 20% of it so far has sold, if that. And 45 records, same thing. I'm not worth dealing with to me. I don't even think I'm going to take those in bulk anymore. They're going to have to be free for me to even think about it. And even then, I'm only going to resell them as bulk. All right, let's post your things that you don't want to deal with anymore down in the comments. All right, on to the next segment. Getting back into the groove of doing real work again, and I'm loving it. So far, my last video, which trying to be funny, kind of bombed.
I made a huge, tiny mistake.
But the thing about it is nobody has identified the actual source of the video. Because that's not me walking around to those garage sales. That's someone else. Who is it? Post it in the comments who you think it is. Before we get into my main subject of this video, which is how is this seller possibly staying in business doing this, I think we're probably going to look at some sales first and talk about some other things. You know, the general kind of stuff we do. If I give away the topic in the first minute, then everybody stops watching after the first minute, right? You know, some people hold it out till minute 28. I'm not going to hold it out till minute 28. It'll be in the middle somewhere. Sold this lion mane pet outfit. This is getting its own little segment because it's the only thing I'm going to ship today. Nothing else needs to go today. This doesn't need to go either, but since it's Halloween, it's time sensitive, so I'm going to get it to the customer as quickly as possible. Sold for $9.42. All right, we're going to take a look at a specific seller here, Skylar Ducks 8. I'm publicly putting this here, and I'm going to put a link to their store in the description because I don't understand how their business operates. You see, they're not a new seller. They've got 1,035 feedback, and look what they have for sale. They have countless Hot Wheels with free shipping for half of what it costs to ship a Hot Wheel. You know, there's 3 pages of these things, and they're not a new seller. Look, 1,035 feedback. And their feedback received just brags on their packaging all over the place. Package great. Package item is described. I thought, well, maybe they just recently made a mistake with their shipping settings, and this just started happening today. But let's look at their sold items. They've been selling these things like this going back, well, we're back to early September. Now let's go back all 4 pages. They've been doing this as far back as eBay history shows, which is 90 days. They've been doing it the whole time. How does that business model work? And I wonder, how good is their packaging? Are they somehow trying to slip these into an envelope? Or what are they doing? They somehow getting 1/4 of price shipping? I'd love to find out. If any of you decide to order from here, when your package comes, please post back in the comments and tell me what happened here, because I'd love to update on it sometime in the future. All right, let's do some sales. I'm currently sitting on my most pathetic 90-day eBay total I've had since I became a full-time seller, or at least since selling became my job, because I really think I'm more of a part-time seller because I only put about 20 hours a week into it. However, in the last 30 days, I actually sold more money off eBay and, well, a combination of off eBay sales, District Common sales, and my card account. Those actually added up to more money than my main eBay account this month. I don't expect for that to keep happening, but it did this month. Sold this vintage crystal off-brand tape recorder. Its claim to fame is that it can have 800% more information on each cassette tape by recording incredibly slow at incredibly bad quality. That would be nice. New Super Mario... Oh, that sold for $21.18. Super Mario 2 new strategy guide, $9. Another bag of Warhammer guys, $59.33. The Comet Aero Trainer Basic Principles. This was located in the sheet music box. Now, why I mention that is because I haven't sold a single piece of sheet music in at least 6 months, might be a year. And when I search for sheet on my own store, I discovered quite a lot of them have bumped down to minimum price. I think I'm just going to bulk them all out together at this point because they are a pain in the butt to ship, because they are larger size than any of my easy to do packaging. It's just not worth the shipping effort on them, especially when nobody seems to want them. World of Warcraft card deck box, $3.21. This is weird. You know, I've had this a long time. When I got this, there was no yellowing on the outer plastic, and now there is. I've had that at least 4 years because I got it one of my first bulk buys. Because I started my eBay career out with a massive collection of my existing collections and 4 epic bulk buys over the first year and a half. And until last week, I basically have been operating off that. I'd only go out sourcing once every couple of months. That's why you never see videos really of me out there sourcing, because I didn't. I just now have had to start doing that. Which means I'll also be getting better stuff now, because I was really getting down to the dregs of that old stuff. Cheech and Chong figures, imperfect, $22. Sold in like a week. This is already boxed up, but it has 10 metal jump pack Rogue Trader era Warhammer Space Marines, sold for $140. I used to put pictures of that stuff up on the screen, but I realized if you don't know what it is, the picture doesn't help, and if you do know what it is, you don't need to see the picture. So I'm not going to waste my time or yours with that. From now on, a Bubba purple drinking mug, $4.57. Not the most money, but it's an extremely fast to sell and pack. This is 5 card. This is 5 card playing mats. You know, the mouse pad material. Actually, this entire green thing here is actually that sort of material as well. These are all related to the Card Fight Vanguard game. Sold this lot for $28.23 plus shipping. And for $45, sold a Sony Handycam TR30. Believe I got this at a garage sale for $20, but I could be wrong. I've bought quite a few video cameras over the past 4 years, and I don't remember where all of them came from. All right, let's talk about something. Let's talk about being a top-rated plus seller on eBay. You know, not just the top-rated, but the plus, where you get the 10% off final value fees. And figure out, would that be worth it to you? I'm going to look at my own numbers and decide if it's worth it for me. So, in the last 12 months, I did $73,178 in sales on eBay. Yeah, I know, that's pretty bad. It's my worst year since I went full-time. At least it's my lowest 12 months rolling since I went full-time. That's also because I spent the last year digging the very bottom out of that death pile. I also sold on several other venues, so it's not as bad as it looks, but those aren't relevant to this particular conversation. And on those sales, I paid $10,481 in final value fees. Now, if I'd been top rated plus, that would have saved me $1,048. But what would be my personal cost to save that $1,048? Now, your top rated plus and the next day handling that comes along with it means that eBay owns your time. You know, this job that you took upon yourself to do either full or part-time to control your own destiny? Not anymore. This means not only do you have to ship every single day, you have to make sure that all your packages get an origin scan every single day. You know the only way I know how to make that happen? That's dragging all your packages to the post office every single day, standing in the line with them, putting up with the surly postal workers who will hate you for not dropping the items in the bin, and then the massive line of people behind you who will hate you for the same reason. That's going to be a minimum of 1 hour day of your time once you count the, load up the car, drive there, whatever. Minimum. It's 260 days a year you're doing this. 260 days a year, you're going to burn at least an hour of your time. And I hope you don't also use FedEx and UPS. Otherwise, you're going to have to repeat the process for those characters or get them to show up at your house and hope that they scan the package. And how much money are you earning for each of those 260 days doing that? Well, if you were me, you would earn $4.03 per day doing that. I definitely can earn more than that just by minimizing the sizes of the boxes I use. Cubic shipping, the size of your box matters. Did you know that? But Paige, top rated plus gives you better placement in the eBay algorithm. They're hiding my items. I toggle my international shipping. It's not working. What should I do, Blood Moon? Yeah, it sure does. Or at least they say it does. But it also comes married to free returns. And I've heard various top-rated plus sellers describing how their return rates are low, only 3%. Let's talk about 3% return rate. In the last 12 months, I shipped 3,743 orders on eBay, and I had 11 returns. That is a 0.29% return rate, not 2.9%, 0.29%. That means that is 1/10 of the return rate of what I'm hearing from top-rated plus sellers. 1/10, because free returns mean people will use those returns. Yes, anybody can force a return at any time, but when there's free returns, you're almost encouraging them to do it. You're also setting yourself up for the kind of buyers who care about return policies. The kind of buyers who care about return policies are going to choose those free return sellers over no return sellers. So thus, no matter what, if you're top rated plus, you are going to get a higher return rate. And in my case, half of those returns were either items that arrived clearly broken, so I would just refunded rather than have broken items sent back to me, or items that honestly were not worth the money sent back, and in most of the cases I just refunded the customer and never got the item back because I didn't want it back. With free returns, you don't really do that because they just file the return and they get the label right away, and they're sending that broken item back to you when you would have rather just thrown it in the trash. So I think for me, top rated plus is not worth it. Maybe it's right for you. Maybe it is your Cinderella story, and it is the reason why you are who you are today. But for me, I don't think top rated plus is worth it. I don't think it's worth it for a lot of everything sellers, and I don't think it's worth it for part-time sellers at all. All right, on to the next thing. I wonder what the next thing is. Let's find out. Hey, if you made it this far, can you hit that subscribe button? I am less than 200 subscribers away from my multi-year goal that I set at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. I am so close, but I'm also so stalled. Just could you give a one-legged man that? It's not like I'm going to get to use that skateboard that I just bought anytime soon. Hey, thanks for watching, and hope to see you again soon.
I've never admitted to a mistake.
See, that's One Foot Flipper's nonsense video.